one of the things I wanted to tell you on how I sustain booking without full advertisement, I wanted to give you guys 5 tips to help you guys run a business. Okay, so now this can go for other businesses. This doesn't necessarily have to be for DJ business only, but I think if you put these practices into place, you there's no way you can fail at this. You can only succeed with this. So, like, I thought about the things that I do that kind of separate me, and some of the things that some couples have told me that I do that separate me, and it was able to give me 5 of these top things and stuff here. So the first thing that I do, I wanted to talk about, is being punctual. Okay, punctual to everything. Punctual starts from the moment you get an inquiry. Punctual starts from that very moment. So it's about being and doing what you say you're going to do as far as in a timely manner. So if they reach out to you, you send back, information back to them because they're inquiring about the function, and you send it to them as soon as you can. Like, not while you're driving or anything like that, unless you've got something that just kind of does an automated, setup, which I highly encourage you to do with Honeybook. But you send them back something, and then when they hit you with a question, you answer it as quick as possible. You answer it as quick. I can't tell you how many emails that I got back saying, "Thank you for being so quick in your response," or answering right back. Now, a lot of couples don't extend that same courtesy, which is a bummer because I kind of like to get what I receive. So, like, if I give you punctual responses, I just hope that I would get it right back as if we were talking via text message, because I know you have your phone in your hand. I know you do. So yeah, responsive, getting back to people, sending stuff back, making sure if you say something's going to be there in a certain time frame, it's going to be like a monogram image. I send my images off to Projectogram. I always tell them, within the week, if I can get you to send it to me this week within 7 business days, I should have it. Making sure that you follow up and getting that stuff in, sending that out to them. And also showing up. When you say you're going to show up for the Zoom meeting, you set up the Zoom meeting for 5:30. Don't click on the Zoom meeting at 5:31. Be there, be in your seat, ready to go. I'm always ready. My clients have never had to wait on me to come on to come on to the Zoom meeting. And then when we get to the venue, I'm always 3 hours early. I'm always ahead of schedule. Everything is ahead of schedule. Now, this helps because you have some people who do stuff last minute, who are procrastinators, and this can separate you, and they can pay you more money just because of you being punctual. This also increases the value of your time. So when you start charging for your time, they see the value in it because you're able to show them that time is important and stuff to you. So punctual is number 1. Number 2, courteous. Courteous. Always, always, always be courteous to not just the couple, but being courteous to vendors. Being courteous to vendors have gotten me multiple gigs just by telling them, "Thank you. I appreciate everything you do." If they bring you something to drink, if they grab something for you, if they set you up in a space or they make a move for you, help you out, tell them thank you so much. Tell the coordinators, "Thank you. I appreciate everything you did. I couldn't have done it without you. We're a great team," blah, blah, blah. All these things help build a reputation and rapport with different vendors and your couple. So definitely practice being courteous. Now, number 3 is responsive. So I kind of went over this briefly in the being punctual, but being responsive. When somebody hits you up for something and they ask a question, when my couples hit me up and either text message or email, and they say, "Hey, how much would it be to do this?" Or, "Hey, is it possible to do this?" Or, "Hey, can we do this?" Or, "Oh, hey, I sent this out to you. Okay, here's the list." That I make sure that I respond with something. with something. They always get something, so they know that I'm not just brushing them off. They're already worried because we're not meeting face to face. They're already nervous because this is a transaction where they're not shaking hands with somebody. You know, you're dealing solely off a reputation here. Now, they believe you're going to do the right thing, but of course, there's some DJs out there that have given us a bad name, and we have no choice but to move accordingly because of them. But they are skeptical. They make the people who are paying you, whether it be mom or the couple, or dad or the couple, they make them nervous. So they're like, you know, who are you talking to? What has he sent you? Send that over to me. No, I want to meet this guy. Let me talk to this guy and stuff on the phone. Hold, you got a phone number? Let me see his website. Like, there are so many things that you can cure just with these steps that where they won't even have to do that. They will trust you fully, and you just have to make sure you give back the same way. So when I say responsive, you just make sure that you're on it. When they give you a task or they ask a question, you are just on it all the time. One of the things that I did with my bride this past weekend is I was just on it. Every time she had a question or a concern or just something she wanted to add in, I at least made sure I responded in a timely manner and gave her the best answer at that time. If something was, came up different, I responded back and said, okay, so I know I said this, but let's do it this way. It would make more, if you had time to think about it, but responsive. Number 4, integrity. And we just briefly talked about that. Integrity is so huge because you better do what you say you're going to do. You best do what you say you're going to do. If you do not provide a service that you say you're not, these customers will let you know it. They will let you know immediately. I remember specifically, it was probably about 4 years ago. I was doing a contract service with another company, and I was, they told me kind of everything that is needed. I talked to them. I did everything on my end that I normally do. So I talked to them and we went over stuff, and nowhere in the meeting did anybody mention a monogram. Nowhere. And the company that I was going to did not mention a monogram at all. So I went out there and set everything up, asked the bride, how does it look and stuff like that. She said, it looks great. Now, where are you going to put the monogram? And I said, I'm sorry, monogram? She said, yeah, where are you going to put the monogram? I said, I didn't know you had a monogram. She said, yeah, I picked out a option and stuff from the guy, and I need I thought we were going to have a monogram and stuff set up. So I called the guy, and he says, yeah, I didn't have time to really get it fixed. Just tell him that we'll take that price and stuff back out of it and stuff like that. But it was resolved. But here's the problem. You're the day of guy. You're going to get the review. You're going to get they're going to say, because they know your name constantly, Jay was out there DJing. He didn't bring the monogram. Jay did this, everything great, but the monogram and stuff wasn't there. But it's a whole ordeal. Couples let you know. I did the same thing where there was supposed to be a picture slideshow one time, and that didn't happen. So I was definitely nervous and stuff doing this past event where the slideshow was not in my hand and ready to go, because I left that responsibility to the client. I was prepared either way. I had a TV with me. I had a stand and everything with me. If they didn't have that TV behind me, I didn't know the venue had that. But I just let them know that, I was ready to do so, and she happened to forget it and stuff. So she said, don't worry about it. I said, cool. It is what it is. And step number 5, just being humble. Just being humble. Once stuff starts happening to you and your business and you're growing, you just got to stay humble. You cannot be cocky in this business. You just can't be. If you are cocky in this business, you will be humbled very quickly. There's too many variables in our business to not be humbled at some point. I've been humbled even when I'm already humble, because maybe I got a big head and stuff about it, so I felt like I was humble, but I was humbled. I was humbled 2 weekends ago. I'm riding a high horse and stuff sometimes because we kill these events, and we just absolutely do such a fantastic job. Sometimes you ride that high horse right into the next one. You don't realize you got to start all the way over again with being humble, all the way over again. Like, these people were not at that event. They don't know that. You got to win them and rock them all over again. So it's like, be grateful, make sure that you show integrity and stuff, and show respect, only because people don't have to use you. I mean, there's DJs a dime a dozens. It's already hard for us to separate ourselves from each other because everybody thinks we're in one box. Everybody thinks we just press one button. Why am I going to pay a guy $2,000 to press a button? I've got a cousin that said he'll do it for $500. Like, you have got to stay humble and make sure that you are doing everything possible to have just a business that is filled with integrity. Those two kind of go hand in hand. And for a bonus tip, even though that's 5, a bonus tip I would say is consistency. Practice makes perfect. So be consistent with your performances and give everybody a freaking show. That's just my philosophy and stuff, man. I go by that all the time. Everybody gets a show. Everybody gets a show. Even if I'm dog tired, everybody gets a show. So just be consistent. So those are my 5 tips and stuff, man. What do you guys think? Make sure you leave some comments stuff down in the chat. Let me know what you think.